There it is. Hello, folks. Welcome. Looks like we've already got some people in here. I never really know when it starts. I just kind of start talking and hope that it's up and running. So let's see. Let me get all of my ducks in a row here and make sure that we are, in fact, live. I do wish that there was a little bit more efficient way of doing this. But anyway, maybe it's, that I need to spend the money and get the big software, the big expensive software to do all of this stuff. Maybe that would be a good way to do it. We've got a bunch of people in here already. That's exciting. I've got some things that I want to talk about here before we really get started with the meat and potatoes of this particular live stream, which is going to be all about Q&A. I was reading some of the people that had posted that it's 1 a.m. wherever they are. And that means a lot to me that you would stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning, wherever you are, to watch me. That's really, really cool. If you're going to want to get your questions answered, you're probably going to want to get them in pretty quick. But we've got a couple of really big things to talk about. One of them is something that I just decided this morning that I was going to talk about. And that's what we're going to talk about first. Because it's very serious. And a lot of times people only watch the first few minutes of a video. If they're going to hear anything, I want them to hear this. Then we're going to get into something really exciting, the big announcement that I was talking about. But in all reality, that is secondary to this first thing that I want to talk about. Okay, let's see. It's 2 a.m. here. Y'all are all over the place. So that's really, really cool. So listen. Save your questions for a little bit. We've got some time here where we're waiting for people to come in. And this is really cool. I'm super excited because we've got 123 people already in here watching. This first thing that I'm going to talk about is the most important thing that needs to be heard in this video. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to come out with it. I've kind of tried to figure out how I'm going to present this, and I really only know one way of doing it. It is what it is. The whole deal here, folks, is that we have someone within our community that needs our help. That's the bottom line. We hear these kind of things all the time. There's been GoFundMe. I've done a GoFundMe account or campaign before. There's been all kinds of things out there where people have looked for help. But this is serious. And if we want to call ourselves a community, we all need to step up and we need to do something about this because this is the real deal. We've got a member of our community, and this is actually a member of the YouTube community, a member of the online community, and a very prominent member of the Tank Talk group in Facebook. If you're not a member of that group, you should join. If you are a member, you have seen this person in our group. I promise you have, because this person is very active. Now, the reason why I keep referring to this person as this person instead of giving a name is because, well, I haven't talked to this person about what I'm about to do. And I didn't get permission or get clearance or anything like that over it. So I don't want to give any names. I'm sure I couldn't get in trouble for it, but still, the name doesn't matter because what's happening is what matters. And all of us stepping up and helping this person out is all that matters. We have a member of our community, folks, that, again, is a prominent member of this community that is dealing with a child with cancer, more particularly leukemia. And I know because I have a cousin that went through leukemia at a very young age. She survived it. She has gone on to live a very normal life, had a couple of children and everything else, and she was able to get through it and survive it because she was able to get the treatment and get the tests and get all of the things that needed to be done. She was in a fortunate situation, but not everybody's in that situation. There are a lot of people out there, folks, that are getting rich off of cancer. We all know that, and it sucks. It's a horrible part of our world that we live in today, but it's the facts. It is what it is. People are getting rich off of this, and they're getting rich off of these families that struggle to pay these bills. You can only imagine what a family must go through to that's experiencing something like this. I mean, I can't even imagine it I have 5 children myself, and I can't imagine being in a situation like this where all you want to do is make your child feel better. All you want to do is cure this that is within your child. I know my house shuts down and I go mad when a child in my house has the flu. I can't imagine something as severe as leukemia, but I know this child can beat it. I know that he can get through it. And I've got my fingers crossed for him to of course he's going to survive it. Of course he is. But for it to be very fast, for it to be pain-free, for him to get through this as fast as possible. But folks, these people need our help. They haven't asked for our help. This GoFundMe campaign that I'm going to refer you to was set up by somebody else for them. These people aren't begging anybody for help. They certainly haven't asked me, but I saw this. Actually, Lisa saw it, immediately donated to it, and said, you know what, John, look at this. Look what's happening. It's a member of Tank Talk. We need to do something. So that's why we are talking about this today. They're not asking for help, but think about when you have a child that's going through something like this, they need to go to the right places. They need to go to the specialists. They need to go to all of these places. And this involves sometimes traveling halfway across the country. So, excuse me. This is not cheap for anybody. This particular individual, we saw, because we were doing some snooping, we saw a post where this person had traveled with her son for 72 days. Imagine the expenses associated with that. Not only the travel, but the food and the lodging and all of that. Folks, it is time for us to get off our asses and stop messing around on the internet and stop thinking about how miserable our lives are. And we need to put ourselves in the shoes of somebody that's going through this. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine how it would affect my lifestyle. And I know that I would never ask for it, but I would want so badly for the community that I'm a part of that calls themselves a community. I would want so badly for that community to come together and do something about this. We can all do that. There is not a person watching this right now. I don't care where you live. I don't care what country you live in. You can all donate to GoFundMe campaigns. There is not one person watching this right now that can't afford to go on here and Paul Martin, delete this jackass that's asking for money because he's an idiot. Just get him out of here. I mean, really, we're doing something serious here. Thank you. So I don't care who you are. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you're doing. You can afford to donate $5. Trust me, Lisa and I donated a whole lot more than that. Not because we want some kind of awards, but just because we do what I'm saying. We think, what if we were in this situation? How would it affect us? And we put ourselves in there, and Lisa made the donation. I'm really happy to do that. I know no matter what you do for a living, no matter how old you are, if you're 12 years old and you're watching this right now, you can go to your parents and say, hey, look at this on my phone. This is somebody in my community that needs help. You can donate $5. I promise your parents will help out. I know there's going to be a lot of you that are going to donate way more than $5. But folks, $5, big deal. You're going to spend that on a cup of coffee tomorrow morning at Starbucks. Let's be realistic here. Now, here's the thing. These live streams that I've been doing, they don't get a ton of people watching live, and that's fine. But they typically get about 3,500 to 4,000 views within the first 7 days. Imagine how much money that is if all those people donate $5 each. It's going to surpass the goal that this GoFundMe campaign actually set up. And my hope is that that we as a community can come through and do something about this and contribute to this, and they can raise the amount that they're shooting for with this campaign, and we can make it go way over that. So that would be awesome if we could do that. I know we can do it because I know that we all love to come together as a community. I've seen people donate to somebody that needs a new camera. I've seen people donate because people need new fish. I got donated money so I could go to Chicago. We've all done things like this, but this is serious. This is real life here, folks. We all need to step up and we all need to do something about this. I already have It's Your Turn Now. So down in the description below, and Paul Martin has been so gracious. Thank God for him. There's another one, this Tony MMA. Everybody give him some love. Oh, he's not showing up because it's been blocked because he's using stupid language, because people want to act like idiots. I mean, this is the real deal here we're talking about. And people want to, anyway, I know as a community, we can come together and we can do something about this. So let's all come together. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's get the GoFundMe campaign maxed out. I know we can do it. I know we can do it in just a matter of a few days. So there you go. There's that. Again, I don't want to give any names or anything like that because why? It doesn't matter. We're a community, right? We need to help these people out. So thank you once again to Paul for putting that in the chat. Thank you to all the idiots that are putting up stupid stuff. And thank you to everybody else that's actually putting up real comments of prayers and thoughts and everything else. We see who the good people are. Unfortunately, the internet is what it is. If you're not looking at the chat and you don't see, if you're watching this and it's not live, then obviously you can't see the chat. The link to this GoFundMe page is at the very top of the description down below. Go click on that. There's no excuse not to. Again, you're going to buy a $5 coffee tomorrow at Starbucks. So for crying out loud, go on this and donate $2, $3, $5, whatever. Everybody can donate their part, and we can help this person because it's a member of our family. All right. Now, I keep hearing a weird noise coming from over there. And when you have a fish room and you hear weird noises, you start looking around for fish on the floor. But I'm not seeing any fish on the floor. So, okay, there we go. A couple of things to talk about real quick, and then we will open things up to all of you. 166 people. Cool. Hopefully everybody got to see what I just said. If not, I'm going to be kind of reminding you throughout this stream because there's going to be people that are going to watch this entire thing and maybe not come back and watch the replay. So there you go. Anyway, next big thing, a couple of big things to talk about with KGTropicals.com. I'm not going to take a lot of time on this because, well, this is a live stream. It's not a big advertisement, but we have added something to our website that I am so excited about. I've talked about this before, how Lisa and I, we're trying to create something with KGTropicals.com. We want it to be a place where you can go to get information, to find out about a particular product, also to buy that particular product. We want to kind of put it all under one umbrella. And in doing that, we're always looking for that next thing. Lisa and I sat down about a month and a half ago now, and we said, what's the next thing that we're going to add to the website to offer to our following? What do they want? That's the number one thing. What do people want? That's what we need to add to the website. And if we had done a vote, I know exactly how the results would have come out because I know what people are talking about, what people want. It's one of the hottest brands on the market right now within the online community, at least. I'm sure it's all over the place. But of course, when I say that, I'm talking about North Fin Fish Foods. This was an absolute no-brainer from Lisa and I, both of us, when we said, what are we going to add to the website? What do we want to put on here to offer to our customers? Both of us at the same time said, it has to be North Fin. It has to be. And I mean, we couldn't get the whole line, unfortunately. Of course, we have the cichlid pellets. We've got the veggie. We've got the carnivore and the Krill Pro, which I didn't grab bags of. But you can see there's a couple of boxes sitting right behind me full of this food. All of these different ones. Those are the four that we have started with, was the krill, the veggie, the carnivore, and cichlid. Of course, cichlid. Because we figured those were the four that everybody, it's my following, is going to want. Of course, we're going to be adding the rest of the line as we move forward. The whole model with our business, since we kind of made it into a product-driven website, is we buy products, we sell them, we take that money, we buy more products, we buy new products, and all of that kind of stuff to continue to build the inventory up. So while this happens, we'll continue to add more of the line until we have the entire line of North Fin on there. So really excited about that. It's been a long time coming. Like I said, we made the decision about a month and a half ago. I went ahead and ordered some to kind of test it out and all of that, which, I mean, I knew it was going to be good because I talked to so many people about it, see so many videos and read so many reviews and all that kind of stuff. I knew exactly what I was getting. I knew I wasn't going to be disappointed by it whatsoever, and I wasn't. I started feeding it to the 240 there. They absolutely love it. They go crazy over it, just like I expected. And I went ahead and made the order and went broke buying as much as we could to have available to you. So it's on the website right now, KGTropicals.com. Get it while it lasts, and we will restock very fast. The good thing about it is our supplier can get us restocks very, very fast. So if we do run out, it won't be for long, and we'll continue to add to the line and everything else. So super excited about that. Been looking forward for a while to tell you about it. There's a few people that knew, you really my close friends, knew what was going on, but it was one of those things I couldn't mention it until I actually had it here in-house. So, all right, last thing. This is another thing that's really cool. You guys keep seeing the name Paul Martin pop up in the comment section or in the chat. If you're watching this on a replay, you've seen the name Paul Martin. He's kind of all over the place. This is a guy that, for whatever reason, is very good to me. He's the one that sent me this shirt. He's been sending me all kinds of stuff, and he's a huge supporter of what we're doing. He's also a moderator in here. I mean, he just shows up and he moderates for me, and it's a beautiful thing. Well, a couple weeks ago, he sent me some of these. These are, I don't even know what you want to call them. I think he calls them sliders. I just call them clingies. They're not stickers. They're not self-adhesive type things or anything like that. It's the kind of thing where you get it a little bit wet, you stick it on the tank, you squeeze out the air bubbles, and it just sticks. Now, I have one on the tank. Let's see if I can point to it, if you can see it. I can't do it. I'm not a dentist. It's right there on the outside of the tank. It's very cool. It's kind of transparent, so you can see through it. It's not like a big thing obstructing your view in your tank. Very, very cool. I'm so appreciative of everything that he's done, and this is certainly one of them. This is not something that I'm going to sell, folks, because I wouldn't feel right about that. And second of all, who's going to buy these? I don't mean that as an insult to Paul, but I don't know that anybody would pay me good money for these. So instead, I'm just going to give them to anybody that orders off of the website. Look at all of these, folks. It's a stack that thick of these. So it's just one of those things I wanted to show you. If you put in an order of KGTropicals.com, anything, it doesn't matter what you order. It doesn't matter if you order one thing that costs $5 or if you order $60 and get free shipping, it doesn't matter. You're going to get one of these in there. Stick it on your tank, especially if you're doing YouTube videos. People will see it. It'll be a beautiful thing. Everybody will be happy. So there you go. One very, very quick thing. There's not a whole lot to talk about this, but I also got 2 new fish this week, and I'm not going to show them to you. The main reason why I'm not going to show them to you is because I can't even see them. I bought my dynamic duo, the duo that I've been wanting to get for, well, ever since I got this Evo tank. You've seen my videos on the Evo tank, the Fluval Evo tank. I wanted to get my first inhabitants of here. Ever since I got this tank, I've been completely obsessed over the Watchman Goby with the pistol shrimp. And, well, I got them. I got them this week, and they both immediately went behind the rocks, and they're behind the rocks now. So I can't even see them, and it's so depressing because the tank is literally right here. It's like I'm touching the corner of the tank right now. It's right here, and I can't see them. It's a blue-spotted Watchman Goby and a red-clawed pistol shrimp. Goby's about that big. Shrimp is just a little bit smaller. Absolutely beautiful. Excuse me, both of them. But the Goby pops his head out every once in a while. The shrimp I haven't seen in 2 days. So it's a little bit frustrating, but I am going to try to get them out and do a video on them. I'm not going to take them out of the tank, but you know what I mean. I'm going to hopefully get them visible and get them in a video. The coolest thing about them, folks, if you don't know about the pistol shrimp and the Goby little team up, this is almost like a clownfish and an anemone. It's like peas and carrots. They just go together. These two work together to build a home within the aquarium somewhere underneath the sand. They dig little caves. They don't dig. The Watchman Goby stands watch. He perches himself right on the substrate outside of this little cave while the shrimp just relentlessly continues going in and out of the cave, digging out their home. And it's an unbelievable thing to watch. And I can't wait to see it, but it's not happening here yet. They actually haven't teamed up yet in my tank. One's kind of over here and the other one's a little down below, but I see a big hole being dug out in the back. So they might be working together. I don't know, but there you go. So hopefully I can get them on video and we'll be able to have some fun with that. So why they don't offer Krill Pro in 3mm. Okay, I can ask that, no problem. I don't know why that got blocked by YouTube channel blacklist. I got a fly flying around me. So, okay, now it's the time for me to take a drink. My God. I can't wait to show you all that the pistol shrimp and the goby. They're just absolutely fascinating. I just hope that I get to see them because they're not out here very much. All right, so this is what I'm going to do here, folks. I know it's hard because I know we're all a community and we want to help each other, just like we talked about earlier. If you're just joining us, folks, down in the description below, in the very top of the description, is a GoFundMe, a link to a GoFundMe campaign that if you're a fish keeper, you need to go and donate to. Just click on that link and read about it. I'm not going to go through a whole spiel, but go on, click the link, read about it, donate some money. Come on, we're all a community here. I know we're a community and we want to help each other out, but what I'm going to ask all of you to do is help me by not answering people's questions in the chat. I know that sounds like really mean, but the reason why is because if we're all answering each other's questions, it kind of gets a little bit crazy. So leave it to me and we'll go from there. If you have questions, go ahead and get them in right now, and hopefully I get to them. If I don't answer your question, please don't be mad at me because there's a lot of them going through here. All right, Cubs or Dodgers? It's going to be Cubs because the Dodgers beat my Nats. But that's not why anybody tuned in here. Let's see. What is the best size tank for a beginner in your opinion? There is, well, see, there you go. Somebody right below already answered, and that's okay because it was before I said anything. They said 55, and you know what? I'm going to say the same thing because I love a 55-gallon tank. I think a 55-gallon tank is great for a lot of different options as far as fish goes. It's easy to take care of because, you know, you can put some pretty substantial filtration on there. And they're also available in starter kits. So that's a beautiful thing. Anybody that's just coming into this, you might be confused about what type of filter to get, what type of heater, what type of this, what type of that. You can buy these starter kits. Marineland has one. I think Aqueon has one. Topfin has one. There's a few of them out there, and you can buy one of these starter kits that has everything you need. That's a beautiful thing. So, but a 55 for me, you know, the philosophy across this whole hobby, it's not a philosophy, but the fact is the larger the tank, the easier to take care of. If you start with a small tank, you might have problems that drive you away from this hobby. The larger you start with, the more chances you have for success. 55 is big, but it's not like that. It's not outrageous, and you're not going to spend a fortune on a 55-gallon. You could if you wanted to, but more than likely you're going to spend a reasonable amount of money, and you've got a lot of options as far as the fish that you can put in there. So I'm going to say 55. If you can't afford a 55, let's go with a 29. Let's go bigger than 10 and 20-gallon tanks. Let's have some fun with this thing. KG, is 2 Oscars in a 5-foot and 20-inch good for 2? Is 2 Oscars in a 5-foot and 20-inch good for 2 Oscars? That's an interesting question. T-Bone, I was really disappointed when you died on Walking Dead. I really liked your character. A 5-foot tank, are you saying 5 foot by 20 inches deep, 20 inches tall? I'd be okay with 2 Oscars in there, certainly. I don't think that's too bad. Thanks for the parasite treatment help. You are so very welcome. And of course, this is what happens. My chat is skipping all over the place, which is why I'm going to kind of have to go fast. I'm going to have to stay current with it here. Spoiler alert. What did I spoil? Did I, The Walking Dead? That was like 3 seasons ago, if that's what you're talking about. Best size tank to start with is the biggest you. Okay, that's very true. There's Inventory King breaking the rules already. He thinks because he was a guest on this show 2 weeks ago that he can just come in and break the rules. This guy, I tell you what. How do you feel about omega-1 fish foods? I've used them. I haven't had any problems with them. You're going to hear opinions about every single kind of food out there. And, you know, you're always going to find people that have negative things to say about every single brand. Let me address something real quick because I'm surprised it actually hasn't been mentioned here in the chat. We are not getting rid of the KGTropicals cichlid pellets, folks. Absolutely not. When I announced this on Facebook that we were now carrying Northfin, one of the first questions was, what does this mean for the KGTropicals pellets? It means nothing. We're adding this to the website. That's what we're doing. We're not eliminating anything. So just wanted to get that out there. Please. Oh, yep. Paul helping me out again. 5 foot long and 20 inch wide and 1.5 foot. I love The Walking Dead. Yeah, you're fine, T-Bone. Okay. T-Y, miss. Oh, okay. There we go. How many Rams can go in a 75 gallon? Wow. I mean, how many do you want in a 75 gallon? Rams are that big. So what do you think about the yellowfin borlei and redfin borlei in the same tank? Yeah, why not? Absolutely. And don't let anybody tell you you can't, because hello, what's the best way to keep my pH fluctuations down and pH stable for discus? Now, one of the things, obviously, water changes, good maintenance schedule is certainly going to do that. If you are using buffers and things like that, that's probably where you're having your problem. Using things like RO water is certainly going to help to keep it down, keep the water nice and soft. And to me, I like to have things in the tank that are going to facilitate a lower pH, hence the driftwood, things like that. There's different things that you can put in. If you're using a sump, you could do things like peat moss in the sump, all different kinds of things. I like to do it that way rather than using buffers. I like to use natural things that are in there all the time, keeping it stable and a good maintenance schedule. That's how I do it. Eventually they will fight. Not necessarily all fish eventually fight. So do you have any experiences with breeding gouramis? No, I do not. I'm sorry about that. I don't. I'd love to do it though. How many discus can I keep in a 75 gallon tank? Automatic water change. Wow, this guy is doing it right. I've got 6 in a 125 up here, and it's way too few. I think I'm going to end up going with, I'm going to take it back up to 12 and maybe even go to like 14 in this, but I got 50 more gallons than you. I mean, in a 75, I think I'd probably keep it at maybe like 6-ish. You know, let them get their full potential. But I've never really studied that, so. I heard your announcement as we were traveling home from a clinic visit today with Caleb. Imagine my surprise when you started your announcement. You brought me to tears. Okay, folks. Well, there she is. And one of the main reasons why I didn't want to talk about her name is because I dread mispronouncing it. But her name is Candy Overhauls. She just commented in the chat. She's the one that we are talking about. And folks, just get off your ass and do something about this. This woman is not asking anybody for help. And that is why I think we should all jump in and help her out. But also, again, just imagine yourself in her position, and you would hope people would donate to you. And Candy, I love you, but I can't spend the entire time talking about you, even though I wish I could. But I'll keep mentioning it. Don't worry, because I want to get that thing maxed by the end of the week for you. And see if your sister, I think it's your sister, see if she can increase the maximum amount there in the GoFundMe. So there is Paul posting it again. And again, if you're watching this on the replay, it's at the very top of the description. You're going to hear me say it. If you're getting sick of hearing me say that, then go watch something else, because I'm going to keep saying it. What medicine should be avoided with bristle nose plecos? That is a really good question, because I have not noticed them being fragile to medications. I'm afraid to even answer that for you. Whoever it was that asked that, I would hate to answer that incorrectly. So that's a really good question. How many times do you feed your African cichlids per day? I try to feed them a minimum of twice, but I would like to feed them more. But feeding them twice a day, with my maintenance schedule, everything's staying good. So twice a day is where I keep it. How do I get my wife to accept my fish addiction? I'm going to tell you how you do it, Gilbert. My dad's middle name was Gilbert. That's very cool. What you do is you take her to the fish stores with you, and you don't let her sit in the car. You don't let her stay outside. You don't let her bring her phone in, because then she's just going to be doing this the whole time. You bring her in there and you let her browse through the store with you. And one of these days, she's going to find a fish she loves. That's what happened to me. Lisa fell in love with discus and arowanas, and it was game over. And I shouldn't even say game over. It was more like game on, because once mama's in, ooh, this thing goes to a whole new level. Trust me. Trust me on that one. Hey, new to the hobby, thanks for all the great videos. I have a Marineland 100 filter that came with my starter tank. I'm just wondering what's the best way to mod it to increase media. I wouldn't. I would use the cartridges that are available specifically for that filter, because that is what it was built to use. I wouldn't go modifying that. If you want to tinker with something, get something like an Aqua Clear, or put a sump on your new tank. There you go. Did you ever find a gold nugget? No, I haven't, William Feltner, but I haven't been looking for them either, because I've been looking for the pistol shrimps and the gobies. And so I got those now, but I'm still going to be looking, believe me, I'm still going to be looking for those gold nuggets, because I've never had one, and I really, really want one. Okay, people still answering other people's questions. Very nice. We are a community after all. Oh, wait, I missed it. Where'd it go? Do African cichlids in Buna enjoy lots of water movement, powerhead, wave makers? Yes, they do. Absolutely, they do. You don't want them blowing all over the tank, blowing up into the glass, and they can't move because the current is so strong. But they do like a lot of current, and it helps them. It's exercise for them, keeps them moving, and it keeps your tank cleaner too, because it blows all the poop where it needs to go. If I do a water change every 3 days, should I use prime every time? Wow, this will get expensive. Yes, you should, Brad. You absolutely should use prime every single time, because if you don't, you're putting chlorine in your tank. I mean, if you're on a well, I still recommend using water conditioners. But if you're on a well and you have like an RO system, then maybe you could get away with it, but I wouldn't. I would have it be a standard practice to use it every single time. And look around. I mean, I'd love for you to go and order your prime from KGTropicals.com, but there are places that sell it in the big giant jugs. If you can afford to put all of that money out at one time, it'll last you a lot longer. And if it is a money issue, I would rather see you use a lesser expensive brand. They're out there. A lesser expensive brand of water conditioner, and use it every time, than use prime and only do it every other time. You understand what I'm saying? So get any kind of water conditioner you can get it in bulk, and make it your absolute routine that you do it every single time. Is aquarium salt safe for catfish and coolie loaches? I'm battling ick in my community tank, and it keeps returning. I've tried Paragard and white spot and parasite control with no success yet. Yeah, I'd get them out of there. They don't like excessive amounts of salt, so I would get them out of there if you have the ability to. Because most of the ick medications are going to be something that would be harmful to those scaleless type of fish. So yeah, unfortunately, that's not a good answer, but yeah. What do you think about 2 baby frontosas, 6 baby imbunas, and 4 baby peacocks in a 55-gallon tank? All right, Thomas Wiggins, there are people that would read that comment. There are certain groups in Facebook, and this is a shame. I've thought about doing a whole live stream, one of my rant type live streams on this type of thing. But there are Facebook groups that if you were to ask that question in a Facebook group, you'd get kicked out, because they'd be like, you know what? We don't have time for this idiot. I'm not calling you an idiot, because I know all of us do these things. We all do things that other people say that we can't do. What you're describing right there, I've done it. I've done it many, 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 many times, and I've had no problems. But again, the elitists, the people, the control freaks, the people that believe that you should do everything that they do because they're the only ones that know what they're doing, they would tell you not to do that. And what I would tell you is just don't listen to them, because you're already in the right place. Just listen to somebody that has common sense. Okay? I'm not calling myself the smartest guy in the world. I just have common sense, and a lot of people don't. Build your wife a koi pond, and you can have as many tanks as you want. Good point. You know, Lisa, with her, when she found discus and arowanas, the entire hobby opened up to her. And now I'm like, you know, whenever we buy a house, I want to build a pond. And she's like, okay, go ahead. No, you know, no problem. She loves going to the fish store with me. We started a fish business together. I mean, yeah, she's definitely all in on that. Got to get the boss into fish. Yeah, I mean, because we all know who the bosses are in our house. John, what is your fish for New Year's resolution going to be? Man, Corey, I should have saved the goby and the shrimp for that. That's a great question. Maybe it's going to be the gold nugget. I think that's a great idea. And I know a guy in Seattle, in the Seattle area, that owns a fish store that could probably get me one. I'll have to give him a shout and see what he's doing. He's never doing anything. He's a really boring guy. All he does is sit in his basement all the time. I'm sure he's not doing anything. You're still going to be looking for that shrimp behind the rocks. I know, it's so frustrating. I mean, he's a beautiful fish. And I don't want to say it in here what makes the pistol shrimps the coolest. If you're William Feltner probably knows. They do something. There's a reason why they're called pistol shrimps. I'm going to talk about it in the video that I do. It's just the coolest daggone thing. And the fact that they team up with the gobies, I mean, it's just the coolest ever. And it's a shame that I can't see them. But they're in there and they're okay. Have you ever had or heard of Excachromis neganese, northern version? That is blue and silver gray and not the normal yellow and blue. You've got me totally confused there, Thomas. I'm sorry. So apparently, no, I have not heard of that. How many apistogrammas in a 10-gallon really want to breed them? I'm not an apisto guy, but they are very, very small, aren't they? I don't know. Can you all start asking questions that I know the answer to? I've never been an apisto guy. It's not that I don't like them. I've just never had them. So I'm afraid to comment on them if I don't know. How long do I drip acclimate new fish? I don't drip acclimate new fish. So I'm going to tell you don't. Now, saltwater I do, because it's a different deal. But when it comes to freshwater fish, I don't drip acclimate because it's just not necessary. That's my opinion. People are going to disagree, and that's fine. We can all still be friends. We don't have to battle each other. We can still get along, even though we look at things differently. I wouldn't drip acclimate them. I would float them and dump them. That's how I do it. Not dump the aquarium water from the fish store in the tank, but net the fish out of the bag, put them in the water. You're good to go. Besides Hans, what are some good places to buy discus that will ship to Western Canada? You got me on that one. Does Live Fish Direct ship to Canada? I don't think they do. I'm not going to be able to help you there, Dina, because I live in the United States, and I don't know. But I'm sure it's a quick Google search. You'd be able to find that. Darth Vapor. Yeah, it only took a couple seconds for somebody to comment on vaping. You know how much crap I've gotten for that in these live streams? They're like, people, it's very unprofessional that you're vaping. If it bothers you, don't watch. I mean, it's no big deal. I'm not going to do that. I'm doing these things 2 hours, dedicating my time. If I want to have a vape, I'm going to do it. I wish I had a basement. No, you probably don't, Corey, because you'd be down there all the time like I am. I mean, and look at me. I'm pale. I'm overweight. I mean, you don't want to turn out like this. I have a 75-gallon tank. I hang on the back filter with I have a 75-gallon tank, an HOB filter for a 75-gallon tank. Okay, thank you. And getting a canister filter for a 100-gallon tank. Planning on stocking my tank within Buna would be about 50. Would about 15 be a good number to start with? Yes, absolutely. If your tank is good and cycled, sure, it's not going to be that bad. I mean, that's more than enough filtration. You're doing a good thing there, absolutely. I have started with more fish than that in a brand new cycled tank, and I've not had any problems. But you do need to be on your game. You need to know what you need to do if trouble strikes. So let me ask you all a question. We got 212 people in here right now. This is something I was thinking of doing because I think it'd be a lot of fun. And since I have Corey in here, he would be somebody that I would be going to on this. I've thought about a fun episode or a fun live stream would be the Fish Store Nightmares episode. Now, Corey has had a lot of things happen. I'm not talking about like catastrophic equipment failure type things. I'm talking about customer type things. Fish store nightmares. I've thought about myself because, well, this is my show. And Corey and a couple other guys that I know that have businesses in the fish industry. I think that would be something that would be a blast to get together and tell stories about nightmare scenarios that have happened while owning a fish store or while these guys own a fish store. Tell me what you think of that. If that sounds like fun, then I will talk to these guys about doing it. I'm just getting back into freshwater, and I keep eyeballing a Rio Kabuya pair at my local fish store. Being cichlids, are there any compatible tank mates that Rio Kabuya? That's not one that I'm familiar with. See, this is what sucks about not proofreading questions before. I don't want to sit here like this while I'm reading. I like to read them out loud, and if I don't know the answer, then I look like a jerk. But I'm sorry about that one. Whoever asked that, I don't know that one. Go ahead, vape away. Sure, others are doing worse. Well, yeah, I mean, you got people drinking beer in their videos. There's fish channels of people drinking beer and all this kind of stuff. It's like, what's the big deal? Come on. I mean, there's another fish channel. I don't remember which one it is where the guy's a vapor and he vapes too. Give me a break. Cut me some slack here, people. What would be good tank mates for angelfish? If we're talking the freshwater variety, which I'm assuming you are, I like to keep them with other community type fish. Now, angels are cichlids. Yes, we all know that. But just to give you an example, I have some platies in there with my angels, as well as zebra danios and two small rainbow sharks. Lisa made me get the rainbow sharks, and they all get together. They all get along wonderfully. Community type fish that are typically, not overly aggressive. Angels can be nasty, particularly if they're going to breed or if they just decide that they want to be nasty. But for the most part, angels are going to be fine, and they'll get along with the community fish. So yeah, that's what I go. That's what I go with anyway. Never had cichlids before, but how many frontosa would you recommend in a 270 liter? Somebody translate that to gallons for me, because I don't know how many. That might be 28 gallons. I don't know. I'm sorry, I've never learned it. I live in the U.S. I don't know liters. Somebody give me how many gallons that is, and then I can maybe answer that question. Fish store slides treat sounds awesome. Yeah, I think there was some spell check going on there. Cool. I like that people are liking that idea. How many watts for your vape? See, this is the problem, because now people are asking me how many watts I'm vaping. I'm vaping at 70 watts. It's nothing extreme. I'm going to have another one here. I want to see a fish channel from Colorado, and the host is hitting a bong. Okie dokie. Well, I mean, I guess it's legal there, right? It might be out there. You might get to see that. Vape is the future, and the future is now. Little Rip Trippers line there for you. Very cool. If my cichlids lay eggs, how long is best to leave them in the mother mouth before defrying? Many thanks. A little language barrier there, Sam, but you did a good job. The best case scenario is to let the mother do it naturally. If we're talking about mouth brooders here, they're usually going to have the eggs in their mouth for around 21 days. Could be a few days early, could be a few days late. My daughter was born at 33 weeks of pregnancy. We all know weird things happen. So could be a little earlier, could be a later, but the best case scenario is to let nature do its thing, because I don't know, the fry seem to be larger that way. They seem to be happier. If you're trying to produce a lot, then stripping them after a few days in the mother's mouth is a good idea, but you absolutely have to tumble the eggs. You can't just let them sit in the tank. They'll get eaten. They'll rot. It's a nightmare. So look at my video for a DIY egg tumbler and order up the parts, and there you go. What filter do you recommend for a 50-gallon freshwater Marineland Penguin 350? Yes, I said it. That's exactly what I said. I'm a fan of that filter. I always have been. I've been using them for years, and they've always been good to me. They can get a little bit of a rattle to them after a while, but I like them. The new Fluval looks really, really nice. I haven't used that yet, but Sean Peck just did a review of one, and it's very cool. It's like 5-stage filtration in a hang on the back. I know other people swear by the Aqua Clears. They're fantastic filters. I've had a bunch of them, but every single Aqua Clear I've ever had has been extremely loud and annoying and obnoxious. So, and that's every one. And I've had like 30 of them. So I like Big School of Corys with Angels. Absolutely. Great, great, great combo there. Rams go well with Angels also. John the Pistol Shrimp is called that because when they snap their claws, it sounds like a gunshot, very loud. Yes and no, William Feltner. There's more to it than that. It literally, look it up, it not only makes the sound, but it also shoots a water bullet because the shrimp is able to do it with such force that it will literally send a little blitz of water and stun the prey of that shrimp. And that's when they go up and eat it. And they've said, I don't know how they measured this because I'm not smart enough to know, but they have said that when it does that, the little burst of water that shoots out can go up to 60 miles an hour. Can you believe that? Nature is an amazing, amazing thing. There's a couple of videos on that on YouTube. Absolutely fascinating. Did you buy new plants from Corey in the discus tank? I mean, all of my live plants that I have right now came from Aquarium Co-op. Yes, they did. I have, the last time I bought, I don't know if Corey's still with us. It's been a couple of months. I don't know. I don't know when it was when I bought all of these, but they're absolutely going bananas. I've got a couple of them that I think are going to end up not making it. One of them is the brown blob that you kind of see right there. And it sucks, but it is what it is. But the ones that are, that you can see in there, they're doing extremely, extremely well. And they all came from Aquarium Co-op. And this one that is not doing well, it's not Aquarium Co-op's fault. I've had these things for, it's been at least 2 months. And so it's this guy's fault right here is what it is. How do I tell gender of an Oscar? It's something I've never known how to do it. Can I keep a common pleco in a 75-gallon for his whole life, or will the tank need to be upgraded? I wouldn't. I mean, seriously, they get giant. Will it survive for a very long time in a 75-gallon? Yeah, it will. But it should be in a 6-footer. I'm just saying. How do you feel about live feeding as a treat? Pros and cons? I feel it's nothing but cons. That's my opinion. Another thing that so many people have had differing opinions on, and that's fine. I think it's cruel. I think it's dangerous. I think it teaches aggression. I think it's risky. I think it introduces things into the aquarium that shouldn't be in the aquarium. I don't like the practices that the farms go through to raise these live foods. So no. Now, if you're talking about cultured worms and things like that you're making on your own, absolutely. I think go for it. You wouldn't even need to necessarily do that as a treat. You could feed them that much more often. But going to the fish store and buying 10 feeders and bringing them home and being entertained by watching fish get eaten, that's just not my thing. It was until I turned 18. John, how do you feel about cichlid food that has an additive to bring out the red color? I've never had one do that. I think that is primarily like a flower horn thing. I think NLS even has one. I've never fed a food that made reds brighter than others. It's just, I don't know. What fish should I stock in a 50-gallon freshwater? What fish should I stock my 50-gallon freshwater with? Oh, man, you got a lot of options there. You just said freshwater. I don't know really what you're going for, Sean, but but I love a 50-gallon tank. I love the plants and the angels, or, maybe a couple of discus. It's 50 gallons, so, can't go with that many of them. But I'm really, hello, flies. I'm really becoming obsessed over the community planted tank. I think they're phenomenal. I've been saying it for a few weeks now. I put a couple of leftover octopus plants right there. Talked to Corey a couple times about getting some plants for there, and I've been talking about it in this live stream forever. For me now, if I was setting up a smaller tank, a 50-gallon, which when you're sitting in front of 500 gallons, the 50-gallon is kind of small. I would just go straight up plants and community fish. That's what I would do. The Corys, the Angels, not Corey McElroys, but the Corridoras and the Tetras, and that's where I would go with it. But I'm old school. Yeah, I'm an old guy, and I'm entertained by easy things. Let it be frank. Your tank is trying to balance itself. There we go, answering other people's questions. We're all a wonderful community. You want to know something interesting here, folks? Not one dislike on this video. I shouldn't have said that, because, of course, now, that's a beautiful thing. Not one dislike. I like that. I think that the main reason is because I started out this live stream with a call to action that we all need to contribute to a very important GoFundMe campaign. And there's some asshole did it there now. So, yeah, now some idiot under the blanket of anonymity decided to go with dislike. Yeah, you're a good person. But I was going to say that anybody who would know what I talked about in the beginning of this video that would dislike this video is nothing but a straight up asshole. There you go. A school of me gets work done. Absolutely. That was Corey that said that, by the way. Hi from the UK. What meds would you recommend for treating pygmy cories with fin rot? I've tried API erythromycin, that's how I say it, and just ordered the API tetracycline. Should I order API furin? That's one I have not used. Corey can probably answer that, because he's in here right now and he's more well-versed on medications like that. But I would have naturally driven you towards erythromycin, which you've already tried, which is unfortunate. Seacom's Focus would help with that also. Not Focus, what am I saying? Canaplex. But I have not had, believe it or not, a lot of experience with fin rot. It's just not one of those things that I've had. My fins are fine. All right. Inventory King asked something. How often do you clean out your filters? And if you have more than one on the tank, how long do you space it out? That is a good question. My fluvels, I do about once a month, but I don't have over-the-top stocked tanks. I mean, I've got loads in these tanks, but they're not outrageous. I clean them out about once a month. This one, I should do it more, but I do it about once a month. Clean the filter sock about once every week or so on a good week. But I, try to get in there and vacuum out the sump and everything about once a month. Hang on the backs, it'd be pretty much the same thing. That's how I would do it. This fly is going to drive me nuts. Yeah, so here's what I'm going to do, folks. For the 4 people that disliked, and the only reason they did it is because I said no one has disliked this, I'm going to make them all look like jerks, and no one's ever going to know that it was them because, again, they hide behind the blanket of anonymity. I want to remind the 213 people that are watching this right now, it doesn't matter where you are on this planet, there is a link in the description, at the very top of the description, that is for a very important GoFundMe campaign. It has nothing to do with me. This is a member of our community that has a child battling leukemia. We all need to do our part to help this person out, to get the expenses covered for all of the treatments and all of the travel and all of the medications and all of the crap that insurance decides they're not going to pay. We need to step up. We need to do something about it. So anybody that's watching this right now, you can do it. You can afford to go on that GoFundMe and donate $5. If you live outside of this country, I don't know what your currency is, but trust me, GoFundMe will convert it and give them the money. So I don't know what $5 translates to, but you can give something. And we can all do it. We can all help this person to reach their goal. I'm going to check on it real quick because why wouldn't I check on it? Okay, let's see. Let me see. I lost it. Where'd it go? Okay, here we are. I'm sorry here, folks. I'm trying to check the page. And let's see. Yes, we have had a significant amount of people donate just from today, just from now talking about this. So absolutely, bravo. Let's do it, folks. Let's do what needs to be done. We need to get that thing maxed out at the $20,000. They're already at 13 something. We need to get them up to $20,000. I think we can make it happen within the next 7 days. Come on. I mean, wouldn't you want people to do this if you were going through that? 50,000 rupiah is $5 in Indonesia. That just sounds like so much more. It's like, wow, 5,000. I mean, or 50,000. That's not even 50,000. That's, I don't even know what that is. But hopefully, Rondazilla, hopefully you can afford that. Hopefully that's not like an outrageous amount. If you can't, maybe you could just donate 10,000 rupiah. Wah, 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 as we are sinking down. 13, 9, 10 of the $20,000 goal. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Talk a little bit about lighting. Is brighter, better, LED versus fluorescent? Everything that you see behind me is LEDs right now. I've had them both, and I've had success with both. I've never kept plants under fluorescent lighting, but I know you can. I've only had plants for a few months now, and they've always been under LEDs. So I'm not an expert on lighting. I don't know all of those different things. All I know is you turn it on. Does it look good? Yes. Okay, great. That's a good light. I like that light. So I'm not really one to go deep on lighting. Hey, John, is 10 gallons big enough for 2 Bolivian rams? Loving the live stream from the UK. Wow, it's late there, isn't it? Or is it early morning? I don't know. Bolivian rams get larger than the German blues and the little ones. I don't know that I like them in a 10 gallon. I really don't. I think I'd rather see them in a 20 gallon, but German blues in a 10 gallon, sure. So there you go. Caleb, we're talking about the GoFundMe page that is at the very top of the description, and it's about somebody that shares the same name as you that's battling leukemia. So get on it. Yeah, there you go. Very early. What are fun fish for a 265 gallon? Good gracious. It depends on what your definition of fun is, because to me, that's fun. The activity, the chaos, the constant moving, the constant back and forth. I think that's fun. But for you, you might think that the one giant arowana that's just gracefully going back and forth is fun. Depends on your definition of fun. But for me, I like big activity. So I would tell you African cichlids. I don't sell them, so don't think I'm trying to be a salesman. Although if you do buy them, go to Live Fish Direct. Get $10 off for entering Tank Talk. How's the Malawi trouts doing? I've only got one. He's doing fine. He still hasn't colored up at all yet, so I don't know if I'm going to have to be sending that one back to Arizona or not. Buccochromis nodotania. Yes, absolutely. That is a beautiful fish. How many hap and peacocks would you keep in a 300 gallon? Good gracious. I've got somewhere around 60-ish, probably a little less than that now, 55, maybe 50. I don't know how many fish I have in there, but I have a lot. If you're going to stick with primarily peacocks and haps, I can't give you a number. I can't do it. Paul Martin, the one who sent me these clings, I don't know what these are called, but I showed these in the beginning of the video. If you order anything off of KGTropicals.com, I'm going to include one of these in with the order. I'm not charging you for it. They're really cool. They stick to the side of the aquarium. He pitched the idea to me a couple of weeks ago about like trying to create a fish calculator of how many fish can go in a tank. I wouldn't even have the first clue on how to do that. But, you know, we'll have to see. Okay, 265 go 350 fancy gopies, 5,000 neon tetras. Hi, people. I just got here. What's going on? There's a whole lot going on. I just got a sponge filter and put it in my cichlid tank to cycle for a hospital tank, and they're picking at it like crazy. Is that normal? Unfortunately, yeah, it is kind of normal. Maybe stick it behind a rock or something like that to where they can't get to it. When John skips your question 3 times, I'm sorry, but this thing goes fast. I don't do it on purpose. 2 a.m. Anthony. I will look in the Kingbridge. Okay, I was rounding off. Haha, now that's 2. John, do you feel you miss out on any fish behavior by stocking your tanks so heavily? No. What am I missing out on? Breeding? I don't want breeding. I'm not missing out on anything with those fish. Not at all. They do exactly what I want them to do, which is they have fun and they swim back and forth and they go crazy. Yo, Paul, can I have the link to the KGTropicals website? The word you just typed with .com behind it will get you straight there. I promise you it will, Mr. Fish Plants. You should have a forum on your website. I used to, and everybody stopped going to it. The main reason, Paul Willis, the main reason why I didn't put it back up on this new site is because nobody was going to it, because everybody's going to the Tank Talk group now instead. And I prefer the Tank Talk group too. So if you're looking for a place to congregate with other fish keepers, first of all, come back here next Thursday at 8 o'clock, but also Facebook.com/Tank Talk. Is that how it goes? I think that's how it goes. Just go to Facebook and search Tank Talk, join the group, and there you go. Fluval. I like Fluval. How many hours a day are your lights on? Probably about 10 to 11. I've cut it actually down because I used to turn them on at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I would turn them off at about 11 o'clock at night, and that was dumb. So now they go on a lot later. John, what is your opinion on South and Centrals? I can only really keep them because of my town water convicts. I love them. I mean, that's what I started with. You know, I had some until recently. So John skipped my question. It doesn't mean you're going to get the next one answered. I mean, come on, people. There's 215 people in here. Cut me some slack. From Dubai. Hello from Dubai. How cool is that? Cichlids move around more. Yes, they do. And it's just fun. I just got on Grey's Anatomy. Was on need to switch to 9 o'clock. Or you need to start using your DVR, Laura. I mean, really. Priorities here. Come on. Then you can fast forward to commercials. I mean, come on. Let's look at this realistically here. I don't remember the last time I watched live television unless it was a football game. And the hockey game that's currently on as we speak. Caps 2, Florida 2. What time is it where you are? It's 9:09 p.m. in Maine where I am. It is, wow, 9:03 here, Caleb. So you are 6 minutes ahead of us. That's really, really weird. Can I keep shrimp in a 3-gallon tank? Yeah, sure. No problem. It's kind of small, but we got people in here from Australia. How cool is that? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do what all of us Americans do when we meet an Australian. You know what we say. We're all idiots. We do that. Go Dodgers. Dodgers knocked my guys out of the come on, Rod. Rod, you just ruined my night. Can you recommend an LED for growing medium light plants in a 30-inch deep tank? Well, that's not a 30-inch deep tank, but I've got the Core Life LEDs on here, and the plants immediately responded to those. I took the double bright LEDs from Marineland, which are right there now. I took them off, moved them down, and put 2 of the Core Lifes from there to here, and you can see how bright the tank is. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I don't sell them. I don't have an affiliation with Core Life. They did send me them to review, and I'm thankful for that. And I do like them a lot. I've also heard very, very good things about the Current USA lights. I've never had one, but I've heard really good things about them. There's a lot of good lights out there. I mean, some of them are more expensive than others. What is your regular everyday job, John? I'm an underwear model. I know it's hard to believe. No, I'm joking. I repair furniture for a living. That's what I do. 3 days a week, about 13, 14 hours each one of those days. I travel all over the mid-Atlantic area repairing furniture for people. That's what I do. That's what pays the bills. Trying to cycle my tank with a shrimp. Water got super cloudy on second day. Is that okay? I'm not getting any nitrite yet on my test kit. You're in day 2, Carter. You're trying to rush this just a little bit. You're probably going to lose your shrimp because they are a little bit on the fragile side, and you're about to nuke that fish with an ammonia spike. You haven't seen any nitrite yet because your cycle hasn't even started. You're 2 days into this. So be patient and let nature take its course. From London, England, do you still have your fluval spec? Oh, wow, guppy tank. Yes, I do. It's right over there. You can't see it? Oh, it's not on camera. Yes, I do. I've got 5 guppies in there still. They are doing fantastic. I absolutely love that tank. It is sitting on my table where I pack orders for customers. So I say hi to them every single time I'm over there. It's wonderful. I love that tank. I would love to someday have a setup where I could have them over here again, but right now I've got the computer. I've got the Evo. There was no room for it, but I still love it. We can see the hockey on your tank. Can you see it on there? Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yep. You can see the, can you see the score? There's Alex. No, Caps are wearing white tonight. Anyway, if this TV is on in any of my videos, it's always going to be sports. That's really the only thing I ever put on here. Can female haps have egg spots? Sure. They're not going to be as bold, not going to be as prominent as males. But yeah, you might see them on there. Smaller, kind of dim. Sure, absolutely. I'm from Portugal. How about that? People from all over the world. You know, you from Portugal, Franzer, you can still donate to that GoFundMe campaign that is down there at the top of the description. You can still donate, and it'll convert to American dollars to help our fish keeper community member out. Denmark, you can do the same thing. Yeah, John, that is, but I am on an Apple device. Is your Apple device telling you a wrong computer or a wrong time? Because I got the time off of an Apple computer, and the time on my Apple phone is the same as the one on my computer. So, Caleb, I think it might be your computer or your time that might be off. John, what is the big announcement? Just briefly, you don't have to explain. Where'd it go? Oh, I threw it back there. We are now carrying Northfin Fish Foods on KGTropicals.com. That was the big announcement. We've got 4 of their different varieties right now: the cichlid, the Krill Pro, veggie, and carnivore. All 4 on there, ready to go. Unfortunately, I can only ship it to my friends here in the United States. But that was the huge announcement, and the announcement of the more important announcement was about the GoFundMe campaign. That's at the top of the description down below. I want to know your huge announcement. There you go. You got it. From Canada, I just had a blue zebra's face change to exactly half black, like dead on, half lying down the face. Do you know why? No. Unless it's a male that just recently. No. Blue zebras? No. I don't know why that is. That's weird. Gonna contact you in PM about your mods. Deleted in 3, 2, 1. I don't. If you're going to complain about my mods, you're going to be wasting your time, because I'm loyal to those guys because they're loyal to me, and I don't see them doing anything wrong. So unless you're talking about my vaping mods, you can ask questions about those all day long. But Hydro Records, if you're going to complain about my moderators here, I promise you're going to be wasting your time. But go ahead. Is the saltwater hobby a lot more expensive than freshwater? Also, do you know anything about Picasso fish? The Picasso clown, I have one, and he's a cute little guy. You know, I mean, if you can maintain your water, your salt water, they're not that difficult to keep, at least in my experience. They haven't been hard to keep at all. Is saltwater a lot more expensive than freshwater? It can be. It's all going to depend on how far you go with it. You can buy a kit like this Evo, like I have, 13 gallons, comes with pretty much everything you need. You need to buy a heater and stuff like that. And then you're just going to spend money on whatever you put inside of it. The M60 that I have also, that's a lot more expensive, but it's a whole lot bigger system. Everything's larger. But you can start a reef tank, a saltwater tank, with the same equipment that you use for your freshwater. Mass Aquariums did that recently. I think it was a 40-gallon that he did that with a hang on the back filter and everything. I mean, of course, you'll eventually want to add things like skimmers, and you might want to add stuff, but you can do it with just a regular tank. It's just that you put salt water in there. And it's not as easy as that, but there is a little bit of a difference between the two different types of water and stuff like that. So you have to be careful, but you asked about cost, so there you go. What are the easiest fish to breed, and how do I sell them? I mean, live bearers are definitely easy. I mean, they pop each other out. Crebensis is one of those fish that's very easy to breed. Convicts are very easy to breed, but it's not going to necessarily be the easiest fish to sell. How do you sell them? You sell them on Craigslist. You sell them at aquarium clubs. You advertise them on local club forums and auctions and things like that. And if nobody buys them, then you go to the fish store and you give them to them for free. What's your opinion on keeping piranhas? I think piranhas are very boring, and I think they're very ugly. I hope that answers your question. I don't quite understand why football is more popular than rugby. Ruby has some great action in it. Paul, I think that's just a difference in cultures. Football is ours. You know what I mean? So I think as Americans, that's why we love it so much. I don't know where soccer, we call it soccer. You call it football. I'm assuming. I don't even know who you are. But don't post items from your website. Do you post websites? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I thought you said don't. I'm like, why not? Rugby, I don't think has caught on here because it's not ours. You understand what I mean? Football's ours. Baseball's ours. I don't know. But then hockey's not ours, but it's very popular. I don't know. Two most popular sports in America, baseball, football. They both belong to America. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But rugby is really cool. Those dudes that play rugby are no joke. I've watched it. I've watched it late at night before. Hey, John from Australia, how's the reef going? There's no reef yet, Australia aquariums, but it's sitting right here. And I talked about it in the beginning of the video. I got a Watchman goby and a pistol shrimp, and I just love them, but I can't see them. So that's how it's going so far. Haven't put any corals in there yet. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. All you need is your credit card to donate. That's right, Paul Sr. That's all you need. Or PayPal or anything. I mean, donating is very, very simple. Question deleted for failing to use spell check. I don't think that's the case. Hide door records. One of the things you got to think about too is that there are specific keywords and things like that that YouTube will automatically delete if you put up, and some of them I've requested, particularly like the F word. If you put the F word in your comment in this chat, it's going to get deleted. Why? Because you shouldn't put that word in there. That's why. But it could be that. It's certainly not because of spell check. No. I don't think I've only got one mod in here tonight, and he wouldn't do that. How long does it take you to finagle your salinity to where it should be when you do your water changes? Not long at all. Both of my tanks are very small, though. I mix it up in a 5-gallon bucket, and it literally takes 5 minutes. I mean, the total amount of work. What I end up doing is I put salt in the water. I haven't measured it yet, but I should. Meaning I haven't measured how much salt I put in, but I put some salt in there. I let it sit for 15 minutes or so, check it with the hydrometer, see where it's at, see if I need to add a little bit or take a little bit of water out and put fresh water in to get it balanced out. It's not hard at all to do. The reason I'm able to do it this way is because the tank is right there, and because I'm down here working, and I'm usually mixing up water that I'm going to put in the tank the next day. So I've got plenty of time I can walk away from it for 2 hours and come back and test the salinity. And if it's a little low, I can put a little bit more salt in there. One of these days I'm going to do the smart thing, and I'm going to measure it. It's a cup of salt per 5 gallons, but this idiot just hasn't done that yet. I don't know why. Speaking of mods, is Lost Vape Triad your favorite? Well, I've been using it for like 2 months straight, and I've got a ton of others here, so it certainly is one of my favorites. It's getting kind of beat up, though. I'm ashamed of myself. Can you help me? Can you help me? I'm trying to know if my cichlids are male or female because I buy them at Walmart, the only place I can buy them over here in Aberdeen. I don't know how to help you, Alex, because I don't know what you have. And I don't think you're going to be able to type what you have and me be able to tell you whether they're males or females. I'm sorry, but I can't see them through here. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I have 2 male betas in a 10-gallon tank with 40 other community fish, and they're getting along swimmingly. Why? Shouldn't they be fighting? Are you being a rascal? So 42 fish in a 10-gallon tank, I think you're just being a little rascal is what you're doing. Remember not to answer questions. It makes it harder on John. Thank you, Short. I see your name all the time, and I don't know what your name is. Short and Anxious? Is that what it is? I think I got it. Mr. Fish Plants. Let's keep the Q&A on fish, not vapes. This one's for you, my friend. American football is futuristic rugby. I watched rugby for a while, and I know those guys are brutal. I didn't understand what was going on, but it was still fun to watch. Do you use carbon? I'm using both carbon and Purigen in my Fluval 406. The forums have sharply contrasting opinions. Forums always have sharply contrasting opinions. That's why we love them, right? That's why I avoid them like the plague. But I like to use carbon. I don't have carbon in every single one of my tanks. I have Purigen in that. I have carbon in one of my tanks over there. That is a breeder tank. I do not have it in either one of these. So, yeah, I mean, do I like it? Yes, I do. I'm old school. I'm one of those old school guys. Been using carbon for 22 years. But I'm yeah, there you go. I like it. I like using it. Jack, crushed coral substrate. Again, everybody answering each other's questions. KFC is ours. All right. I was talking about American football, but I see your point. All right. I'm a little bit behind here. And Funk Salad is just obsessed with answering other people's questions and completely ignoring everything that I said earlier. John, what is a safe salt level for freshwater? I am use an instant ocean saltwater test. It is running about 6 on the outer scale. I don't use that test there, Dano. I use a hydrometer. In fact, I had it right here. Where did it go? I use a hydrometer. Tells me the salinity level. It's very simple to use. You just fill it with water, and it tells you. Now, I know there's a lot of people that have said there are other ways of doing it, other devices. Refractometer is what everybody that's serious about saltwater says. So I don't know what that means, what you said, because I've never used that type of test. I feel like the annoying guy asking questions multiple times, but how do you feel about the Fluval FX6 canister filter? I'm thinking of buying one for my 150-gallon tank. Now, Tony Romig sounds a lot like Tony Romo, and I don't like that name, but you don't need to worry about asking the same question multiple times. It's when you start yelling at me for not answering your question, that's when I get annoyed because, come on. I love the FX6. I've got the FX6 on that tank right there. That one. I've been using it for a long time. I've been using FX6s basically since they came out, and I've always been a big fan of them. They're huge. You got all kinds of options as far as what you can put in them. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of them. I've also got the FX4 on that tank, and it is doing beautifully on there. So love them both. I'm a Fluval guy. I just am. Call me biased, whatever. And don't say it's because they send me products. I've had a lot of companies send me products, but I'm just a Fluval guy. I've always loved their stuff. Can I just put the balls of beneficial bacteria inside of the aquarium because I have a small filter for carbon only? I suppose. Are you talking about like bio balls? That's definitely going old school. I mean, yeah, as long as it's in the water, it's going to grow bacteria. Anything that you put in the water is going to grow bacteria on it. So sure, why not? Nice watch, John. Are you saying this is a nice watch, or are you saying this stream is a nice watch? What are you saying? Because if you're saying it's a nice watch, thank you, because that was a gift from Lisa. But if you're saying what, thank you for that. Okay, thanks, Jamie. I used to smoke and vape, but then I ended up getting a double lung transplant. Please stop. You don't want to end up like me. You didn't get a double lung transplant. Who are you kidding? Who's that guy? Yeah, Funk Solid, I'm not yelling at you, dude. I've been saying it all along. I've been asking people not to do that. And you've been doing it anyway because it makes it more confusing on me. And every single time I've said not to do it, I've said, I know we're all a community. We all want to help each other out, but I've asked to not have it done. But be mad at me. That's fine. Do you know where I can get the stuffed plecos outside of the U.S.? I don't, unfortunately. I wish I knew. I wish I could help you there because they are awesome. What do your canister filters consist of? I've got, oh, shoot. What did I put in these? This one has actually what came with Fluval, and then I added the ammo chips, I believe, is what I put in there. The Cobalt Aquatics ammo chips, because I was starting everything all over again, starting it from scratch. This fly, this one, it's been a long week. I don't remember what's in there. I mean, I've got the polishing pads. I've got the bio tubes that Fluval includes, and they've been in there since I bought it. And something else, but I don't remember. I don't remember what it is. It is a hydrometer. Greetings from Virginia. We've got another Virginian in here. Is this Virginia person, Pulse of Defiance, aware that I too am from Virginia? Girl seeking tiny, pretty cichlids for a 40 breeder community tank. Good personality and lower aggression preferred. Maybe a dating site profile works for tankmate. That is priceless. I love that. Comment of the day for sure. Pretty cichlids, good personality, and lower aggression preferred. I mean, if you want really pretty cichlids for a 40 breeder and you want them to... Cichlids is so broad because a lot of people use cichlids as the generic term now for African cichlids, which you'll never hear me do. I always like to differentiate African cichlids, but I don't know exactly what it is that you're talking about. If you're asking for good personality and lower aggression, then you're really not talking about African cichlids anyway. Rams. There you go. Rams. I mean, they wouldn't hurt a fly. Rams, and you can put all different kinds of other stuff in there with them. You'll just love them. Oh, shoot. 8675309. Why are we talking about old songs from the 70s? John, call, text me. I will send you proof. You'll send me proof of what? Did I miss something? I must have missed something. Thank you. 1 year anniversary this month. Oh. The double lung transplant. No, that's cool. You don't need to prove it to me. That's crazy. Get used to the flies, John. It's Northfin. They can't resist it either. That's not why they're in here. I heard a story where someone's cat caught and killed all 7 of their discus. Expensive line bred. Downside of certain lids, I suppose. Wow. That would be a cat that would be up for adoption if it was in my house. Best rams, then prettiest German blues, because they're not all genetically modified. They're just straight up beautiful, blue, gorgeous, little, delicate, special little fish. We got somebody advertising their YouTube channel. Once we hit 9:30, folks, it's no holds barred. It's whatever it is that we want to talk about, because then, I've done an hour and a half, and it's time for me to be able to just enjoy myself and let my hair down and relax. Wait till you see me put my hair down. Hydrometer, an instrument for determining the specific gravity of a liquid. Hygrometer, an instrument for measuring the water vapor content of the atmosphere. Well, thank you, Big Fly Multimedia. You are a good resource of information. I have a Dragon Blood X red shoulder fry. Some are white. Some are goldish. Is that sex related or color when they get bigger? That is a very confusing question there, Matthew Smith. Your Pleco plushies are headed to Dubai. Are you the one that ordered them from my website? But did you order them from me? Atul, is that how you say your name? Did you order them from me? But of course, I didn't send them to Dubai, but I sent them somewhere else, because I think somebody did that. Somebody ordered Plecos from me, but they didn't have them send them to where they lived. And the credit card place was like, this is high risk because the addresses don't match or whatever. But of course, I sent them anyway because I'm just a good guy. I wonder if that was you. I don't remember the name. I could look it up, but we don't have all night for that. Would you consider doing a talk presentation for James River Aquarium Society? What would I be talking about? You want me to talk about YouTube? I can talk all day long. What would I be talking about? I mean, I would certainly think of it. Have you watched any Highway Through Hell on Netflix? No. No, I'm still knee deep in Shameless, and I just finished Luke Cage, so I have not checked out any other new series. So Corey is nuts for goldfish. Joey has goldfish. Now, John, would you ever get an epic goldfish tank? Just curious. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not going to run out and get one either. I love goldfish. I love the fancy goldfish and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to run out. I mean, these tanks are what they are, and they're going to stay that way for a good long while. Any experience with archerfish? No, but I did see the Pendulette's tank. Also, thanks. I will seek myself some German rams. There you go. You sent them to my brother's place in California. There it is. Awesome. And they're on their way to you in Dubai now. How cool is that? I'm going to tell you something, Atul. I hope I'm saying your name right. I watch videos of Dubai all the time because that is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen it, but just watching videos of what is it called? The Palm and the world. And I'm just so fascinated by Dubai, the indoor snow mountain and all of that. My God, I would love to go to Dubai. I would love it. What running your store was like online sales and how to use YouTube to bolster your business. I think it would be a cool talk and cool to meet you too. Oh, that's what I'd be talking about at the aquarium meeting. Yeah, sure. I could do that. KGTropicals@gmail.com. Just email me. Shameless UK or US. I'm doing the US version because I really like William H. Macy. I like him a lot. And he nailed it in that. I mean, he's doing really good. Bumping P puffer question. I don't know anything about puffers, so I'm sorry, my friend, but you would be wasting your time. Have I ever kept monster fish? Yes. Arowanas are stingrays in the monster fish category. Red-tailed cats, Florida gars, datinoids, Budico fry. There you go. Yeah, I've kept all of those. And someday, and see, that's what's interesting about what somebody asked me earlier about the goldfish tank. I would set up a monster fish tank before I would do a goldfish tank. Not because I don't like goldfish, but because I like monster fish more. Can you stop vaping? Nope, not going to do it. What temp do you keep your Africans at? Also, do you keep fry at a different temperature? Thanks for answering my previous questions. That tank is at about 82 right now, and no, I do not give the fry a different temperature. Who manufactures the KGTropicals food? That is between me and the manufacturer. John, do you fly fish? I do not. Not because I don't like it, but because I just don't. Lisa needs to get on with you and talk discus. I know. Read one post above the monster fish post. Oh, you're going to make me go all the way back there. That gamer 4241 that's breaking my balls about vaping, he might be the one that like chewed me out on one of my videos for vaping, like giving me all kinds of lectures and stuff. I don't know if it was him or not, but hey, John, any tips on getting rid of yellowish water? Are you too lazy to type this again? And that's why you're telling me to go back. You make me scroll back. I'm just messing with you. Hey, John, any tips on getting rid of yellowish water? I'm running Fluval FX6 on my 75 gallon. I need help, please. Yellow water could be caused by a lot of things. It could be an algae bloom. It could be that you have a lot of driftwood in the tank that was not properly cleaned before it was put in the tank. It could be you have an unbelievable amount of diatom algae in there that's just wreaking havoc on the tank. Could be that you're not doing enough water changes in the tank. Some carbon will help to clean that up if it is a driftwood issue. If you put driftwood in the tank without soaking it first to remove all of those tannins, that's a surefire way to turn your tank yellow. So check on all of those things. I know I went through it really quick, but it's the end of the night, and that's what I do. So ask again, Matthew. I really need help. Whatever I'm leaving, I was like the first person here. I mean, that happens every single time. I'm sorry. Gloucester, Virginia here. Hard to find good cichlids in this state. Any recommendations? Man, that KGTropicals place sure did sell some good cichlids from Gloucester. It's a shame that Animal Jungle shut down in Virginia Beach. But what I was told, and I don't think that this person is in here right now, there's one of my mods on the Tank Talk group is in Norfolk right now, right down the street from you. And he was telling me about a store that's right across from where Animal Jungle used to be, but he might have been talking about a saltwater store. I'm not 100% sure. It's unfortunate that I'm going to tell you this right now. There's really not a whole lot of options in Virginia. If you go up to Maryland, which you're not going to do, Baltimore, which is like 5 hours from you, why in the world would you drive that far? There is a good shop up there, but you're not going up there. John, I've been looking forever for good stingrays. Can you please help? I wish I could. Good stingrays are hard to find. I mean, there are some online retailers, but you know, any reputable breeder is going to charge quite a bit of money. If you lived in Virginia, I could tell you a good source for wild caught freshwater rays, but I don't know where you live. So I used to go to Animal Jungle. Yeah, that place was awesome. I loved that place. Notice my fish. Okay, so What's a better question to be asked in the Tank Talk Facebook group? At Matthew. Yeah, folks, that is the thing. Paul brings up a great point, and then I'm going to start to kind of wind things down. If you do have questions, if you're frustrated because you keep asking questions on these live streams and I haven't been getting to you, I'm sorry. I mean, I do try to get to all of them. Sometimes if I skip your question, it might be because I don't know the answer, or it might be because I missed it or whatever. This thing scrolls pretty fast, so I don't do it on purpose. But if you want to get more direct attention from a lot of fish keepers that know what they're talking about, join the Tank Talk group. It's down in the description. Didn't I put it in the description here? Let me make sure. Yes, it's in the Tank Talk group. Scroll about halfway down the description, join the Tank Talk group, and ask away. Ask away anything you want to ask in there. We got a ton of great people, and they will definitely help you out. House of Tropicals, I love living in Baltimore, cichlids everywhere. Yeah, House of Tropicals is a great place, Brad. I'm going to go up there and do a fish store tour of that store someday. So, all right, folks, listen. I want to reiterate one more time the importance of the GoFundMe link that is in the top of the description. It's the very top of the description. If you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see it right below the like and dislike area. You'll see it right there. It'll say, time to step up. What did I put on here? Did I say get off your ass? No, I said time to step up, folks. Member of our community needs help. Do whatever you can do, and I included the link below. That is a link to a GoFundMe campaign that was set up for one of our members of our community who has a child that is battling leukemia. Folks, you wouldn't want to be in that position, would you? And if you were in that position, you would want so bad for people to help you, but you'd really want it done without actually asking for help, because you don't want to come across as being somebody that's begging for help. Well, this person has never asked me for help, had no idea that I was going to talk about this tonight. I just felt obligated to, because this is a member of our community, and I can't stand to see someone in our community going through that. So if you are one of the 195 people that are watching this right now, there's no excuses. You can afford to go over there and donate $5. Most of you, I'm sure, could afford to donate $50 to a campaign like that. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. If you can only do $1, click on that link, go over there, and donate to that GoFundMe campaign. There could be no more worthy cause than a child battling leukemia. This is one of ours, folks. Not one of me and Lisa's. You know what I mean. One of our family members in this community that is battling this, and we have to do our part. There's absolutely no excuse not to. So go over there. This is a wonderful person that is a very active member of the Tank Talk Facebook group that never said anything in the group about this. The only reason we know about this is there was something about a post that she put up on Tank Talk that, for whatever reason, caused Lisa to click on her profile. I will donate if you answer my question. No, just based on principle, I'm not going to do that. Lisa, for whatever reason, was compelled to click on her profile. That's where she saw it. She immediately went and donated, and you know what? You should too. So head over there and help this family out. You can only imagine what they're going through. So I'm going to sound like Philip DeFranco here, folks, but that's where I'm going to end today's show. I have had a blast with this one. My voice is about wore out, and I think that they're probably going to start complaining from upstairs that I'm yelling too loud. So this was donating anyway. Well, good for you, Kylie. Hopefully you can look back on what you said and understand why I said based on principle. I'm not going to do it. Discus Hans live stream. That would be fun. We'll have to see. But anyway, whoever put Go Cowboys, just kick them out, because, well, the show's over anyway. But folks, this has been a lot of fun. We had a lot of people watching today. Really excited about that. Don't forget, if you're looking for Northfin Fish Foods, we've got them now. We don't have the whole line yet. You know the website that does, Northfin USA. They've got them all. But if you want to support what we're doing, we've got 4 different varieties of Northfin Fish Foods that are available right now. Exact same prices as him. We're not trying to compete with him or anything like that. We're just offering the same products because we know this is what people want. So if we don't have it, go over there, support another YouTuber, go over to Northfin USA, buy it from him. So there you go. But if you're looking for it, you want to support what we're doing, you like what we're doing, head over to KGTropicals.com. Link is in the description. You can pick it up right there. I'll ship it out. You order it tonight, I'll ship it out first thing tomorrow morning. You'll have it probably Monday or Tuesday, depending on where you live. Okay? So this has been a lot of fun, folks. Don't forget, click that link at the very top of the description. Don't ask any questions. Just do it because we all need to. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. This has been a blast. I will see you in the Tank Talk group on Tuesday. Do another live stream, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Oh, that's it. I'm out.